back with another episode 10 at that, on the Free Me Friday podcast, where we get real, raw, relevant with a little ratchet and a whole lot of religion. Shout out to y'all for rocking with me for 10 whole episodes. Me and Piggy really appreciate you. I need you to get ready to comment and subscribe if you have not subscribed. Tell your mama them, your cousin them, Pookie, Ray, Becky, anybody about the Free Me Friday podcast, where we be dropping that heat on this platform. And I am so excited about how far we came. Ain't that right, Piggy? She said, yeah. Me and Piggy are excited. And y'all, I'm really excited about today because y'all know what that means. When Bella's here, that means we got a guest. And I am so excited about this one. Remember I told y'all, some of my guests I know and some of them I don't know. Some of them I have relationships with and some of them I do not have relationships with. But this is my white girl. I love her so much. She is a member. She is a daughter. She is a friend. She's a supporter. She's a rider. And she is one with a testimony that I believe is really getting ready to help a young woman and maybe even a young man that's watching. I want to introduce to some and to present to others. She goes by Lady J.
Always better. Always. Zone.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Free Me Friday podcast, daughter. Girl, be all over. The people need to hear you talk about some thank you. Don't be shy. Me and Pinky are happy to have you. Y'all, this is she shy. You know what I'm saying? She don't really talk. She come to church. If you ever been at my church, you'll see her in that sound booth. She ain't gonna talk to y'all. If you ever been to the new and you ate that good, it's because she be cooking and whatnot. So if you need a chef or a caterer, I need you to hit up Lady Jayer. You know what I'm saying? That's a jingle, and I'm gonna give it to you for free. You need a caterer, hit up Lady Jayer. Okay? All right, but we're not here to talk about her good cooking and how well she knows how to work a sound booth at a church. We are here because she has a testimony that I believe is very relevant, that's very raw and very real, especially in today's society. We live in a cosmetic crazy world. Young girls that's not even 25, barely 21 years old, getting fillers. They are getting BBLs. They're getting breast augmentations. They're putting stuff in their eyeballs, their lips, their necks, whatever. They just injecting, okay? We live in a world where people ain't really necessarily going to the gym and building a butt. They're buying one. They're not waiting to, you know what I'm saying, get them love handles taken care of on a little Smith machine or the treadmill. They going to Dr. Miami to suck it on out. And I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that if that's what you feel like you want to do. However, there is another side to cosmetic surgery, to BBLs, to boobs, to lips, all of those things, and not enough people talk about it. And so I dragged my girl here to shed light on that life. So, Lady J. Yes. You are absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I think that you are beautiful from the rooter to the tutor. I think that you are gorgeous from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. It's very obvious. Anybody that got eyes can tell that you is fine. I'm talking about like Bathsheba. You know, David done killed the woman husband to get to her. You know what I'm saying? She had to be fine for him to just take the man out. Okay? So anybody with eyes can tell that you're a beautiful woman. But you did some stuff, right?
Yes, I did.
And you know, it's funny because like I said, beauty is obviously clear. You're a beautiful woman inside and out. But they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Other people might see us a certain way, but it really doesn't matter because we need to see ourselves a certain way. Like, for instance, you know, I unbig my back a little bit, right? I had lost, I think almost 70 pounds, right? I gained a few of them things back, and part of that is your problem. It's your fault because all that smothered.
Dr. Pepper, baby,
part of that is her fault. Part of that is her fault
nice
because she be smothering and she be baking cakes and cookies and pies. So part of my 17 pounds that I gained back is her fault.
I rebuke that.
You just brought me a cake. I'm just telling the people. She the reason why I gained some of that weight back. However, I did lose almost 70 pounds. And to, to people around me, they were saying, don't lose. Even you, I think you tried to play me a few times at church. You was like, don't lose another pound. Don't lose another pound. You lost enough. Don't lose no more. You lost too much. That's in their eyes. But in my eyes, I was like, yeah, you still fat. Yeah, you still need to, work on that. Yeah, you still got this and you still got that, because it doesn't matter what other people see. It matters what we see. So what did you see when you saw yourself before we went down the road of surgery?
Honestly, I didn't see what everybody else saw. I saw someone that was overweight. I wasn't happy with my body. So
sorry, girl. Can't hear you.
I took the easy way out and I started having surgery. But the only surgery that I regret having was back in 2009, and it really wasn't even surgery. I'm from Miami, so back then everybody was on the fad of getting butt shots.
Okay.
Because back in 2009, nobody really wanted to pay $10,000, $15,000 to go get a BBL. So they found the next best thing. You probably could pay $1,500, $2,000 for some butt shots.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. I met somebody through a friend, made an appointment, met him in a hotel, and he shot me up.
Now he shot you up.
It's no other way to say it.
Okay.
He shot me up.
It was just easier to go with the shots than it was with the BBL. And I remember that because what year was that?
2009. 2008, 2009.
Yeah, because those was my days when, before church, I was doing a little 1-2-1-2. And I remember that getting the shots was the thing to do. Nobody was really talking about.
Honestly, before surgery, that was the hottest thing.
That was the hottest thing.
If you didn't have a butt or you wanted a bigger butt, everybody had shots. You see everybody Instagram rap videos, they had shots.
They had butt shots. And you are right, because I do remember that when I was in the clubs that the girls were getting, nobody was talking about surgery.
Right.
It was just about the shots. And so you in Miami, you go to the hotel room.
The hotel room.
And he shot you up.
Yep.
Okay, so that's just the, you know what I'm saying? That's just the butt. That's just the cheeks. Did we stop there?
Right after that, I had lipo.
Let me ask you, when you did the shots, did you feel good about yourself? Did you like the turnout? Did it look the way you wanted to look?
I mean, he did tell me that I needed more sessions. I just didn't want to pay the money for it. So I just stayed at what I had got at the time.
And
one session.
You were pleased with it?
It was okay. It could have been better.
It could have been better. Okay, so what made you decide to go to the next step, which was the lipo?
I wanted to lose weight, but I didn't want to go through the process of going to the gym like everybody else. Mm-hmm. It's easier, it's faster, and everybody knows the doctor gonna get you right.
We really doing a BBL here? Oh, we absolutely doing a BBL here, bro.
Gentlemen, welcome to Dr. Discount's Deluxe Booty Enhancement Experience.
Bro, why is he heating the tools with a motel iron?
She said it's easier, and you ain't lying, because, baby, I be in that gym fighting for my life. I ain't got no six-pack yet. I'm about to call Dr. Miami myself. Hello, doctor? Hello? It ain't working. I'm about to turn in my membership, because I'm tired of doing them crutches. It ain't crutching. I still got a fupa, okay? Right. So I do understand it's quick.
It's quick and fast. You might lose a little money for it, but it's something fast.
Okay, so we've done the shots. We've done lipo. Were you pleased with yourself?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
But over time, I had another child, gained weight. Life happens. I gained more weight. But then up until like maybe 2 years ago, I started having, I would probably say, pains in my legs. My back. And for a long time, I never knew where it was coming from. I just thought maybe it was from my weight because I was a little bit heavier. Mm-hmm. But come to find out, it was from the butt shots.
Bruh.
They were shooting down your legs?
I would have pain. If I stood up too long, or if I walked for a long time, I would either be out of breath or pains in my legs, in my hips. And then after that, from the butt shots, I guess the stuff that they use back then, it was hydrogel. I didn't go to a backyard person that shot me up with Fix-A-Flat or cement or whatever else they use. This person, they use hydrogel. And what hydrogel is, when you have a baby's pamper and the pamper is wet, the gel that's inside where it's mushy, that's what hydrogel is.
Okay, and that's what he inserted into your body. Now, how many years before, because you said this was like 08, 09.
2009, I did the surgery. So from 2009, I had it in me and up until 2021.
And that's when you start feeling the pain.
Right.
So it was there for a long time.
Right. For all those years.
All those years you were fine.
I was fine.
So we had only did the butt shots and the lipo up until this point.
Correct.
Okay. Now we got pain. So what do you do with that?
I had ended up talking to some other girls that I met on Instagram.
Okay.
And a lot of them were saying they were having the same problems. Okay. And they were talking about getting it removed. Some of them had their butt shots removed. Okay. So I had started joining a lot of groups, talking to a lot of females and so forth and so on. So I had met 2 females and we end up finding a doctor in Colombia. Okay. And I end up going to Colombia to get them out.
Okay. Uh-oh.
And that trip was...
Is this where things...
It went downhill. Honestly, I think if I didn't come back to the States when I did, I probably would have died in Colombia.
Died? Like dead? From taking the butt shots out?
Yes.
Why dead? Vicky said we didn't want to funeralize you. Why would you be dead from taking out butt shots?
Because what happens when they put the butt shots, when they put the stuff in you, it goes in your muscle. Depending on how long you've had them and how bad they get, they sometimes have to cut out skin, or sometimes they have to cut out muscles. And also at the same time, while I was over there, I had other liposurgery. So the doctor that I went to, and that's why now we as women, we have to do a lot of research with these doctors. Because some doctors, you can tell them to do 10 different things. Because they want your money, they're going to do it. That's why doctors in the States, they only want to do a limited amount. But when you go across the water, they don't care because all they want is your money.
So when you say you can tell them to do 10 different things, is that what you got over there and told them to do? 10 different things?
No, it was probably about 4 things.
She said, I'm 10 before.
It was about 4 things.
Hold up. So you went over there to correct the butt shots.
Right.
That was the original plan.
That was the original plan, but then I end up getting some more things.
So we get over there and we like, oh, by the way, we gonna take these butt shots out and what was the and? What did you do?
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I did lipo again.
Okay.
I did my arms.
You did lipo on your arms?
No, I didn't do arm. I didn't do lipo on my arms. I had an arm lift.
An arm lift.
I did
lipo where? On your stomach, your abdomen?
On my stomach.
Okay.
And my back.
Okay.
And my thighs. And I did an arm lift.
That's a lot.
That was a lot. And then also
the removing of the butt shot.
Right.
All at once.
All at once. And then the doctor that I went to, he was like, well, do you want a tummy tuck? And I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to need that. Yeah, you're going to need that because you're going to have loose skin. I said, no, that's okay. So that would have been something additional. And probably 9 times out of 10, if I did allow them to do the tummy tuck, I probably would have been dead for real. Because throughout all of that, I ended up needing a blood transfusion while I was in Colombia.
Okay, hold on.
Oh my God, no way.
We're in another country. Right. We originally went to this other country to get a removal of butt shots.
Correct. Because it was cheaper in Colombia compared to in the States.
Which is true. I hear that all the time. In the States,
to remove them, one doctor quoted me $24,000.
To remove hydrogel?
Right.
And what was the price for Colombia to remove hydrogel?
To remove the butt shots plus the surgery that I had was $6,000.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Wait. Hold on. Hey, that's a big jump. We went from $24K to $6,000.
$6,000.
I bet a lot of y'all in Colombia, because what? 24 G's to 6,000 would make me get a plane ticket too. I ain't even gonna hold you. That's a big jump. And I can understand why it was so much here because it was risky. Look at what you said,
Right.
In the muscle causing pain and all that. So that probably was a high risk. They knew it was a high risk surgery. So it was like, okay, it's going to cost you for us to do this. And over there, they like, yeah, no, we do it for $6,000.
Right.
On top of that, we did lipo in our abdomen, lipo on our back, lipo in our thighs, arm lift while removing this. And so what happens? Your body goes into a complete shock.
I guess my body was in shock because they was giving me medications. I had infections that I didn't even know about. And like I said, I ended up having to get a blood transfusion. And that was the biggest thing that I was scared of because I'm in another country and I'm like, oh, Lord, is this blood going to be clean that they're going to give me? It took them a couple of days to find blood for me because I have O negative blood.
Oh, that's very rare.
It's rare. And then again, I'm in Colombia. So I'm like, Lord, where's this blood coming from?
And wait, hold up. Because I want to talk about the timing of how long you were there because I can only imagine what was the original time you were supposed to be there for the removal of the hydrogel?
I didn't stay an extended time. I think I was there for a week and a half.
Just for that part?
Right. For all everything together.
But then you got, so only, even with the blood transfusion, it only was a week?
Oh, I think a week and a half.
And they sent you on your way?
They sent me on my way, and I'm glad they sent me on my way.
Okay.
Because, when I left there, I was okay. I was just a little discomfort from them doing the removal from the butt shots. But my wound wasn't healed. It wasn't closed up properly. So when I came back to the States, one of my friends that had a nurse, and I sent the pictures to
Your
the nurse,
discretion
and
is
she was
advised.
like, you need to get to the hospital ASAP. You're starting to get necrosis in your wounds. Necrosis is when the tissue starts turning black because the tissue is dying. So when my daughter took me to the emergency room, and that night when I got to the hospital, my hemoglobin, I believe, was a 6.
And what is a normal?
A normal hemoglobin is about, I think, 17 or 18.
Girl, you was a corpse. Your hemoglobin, hematoma, health was supposed to be 17, and you was at a 6.
I was at a 6.
Oh, moment of silence because you was out of here. What? And so what pictures did you send her to where she felt like this is where, what did you call it was setting in?
Necrosis.
Was this from the back where you had the removal?
My butt, yes.
Okay, you sent her. Were you in pain?
No.
But what made you show her? Because it was turning black.
Right. I just didn't feel like
normal. You knew something was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she said, go to the emergency room now.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to the emergency room, and then what?
I was admitted that night. The night I went to the emergency room, I was admitted. And I stayed in the hospital for a week.
What did they say?
I had infections.
Just in your butt?
I had infections in my body.
Period. It spread it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Damn.
Okay, so what antibiotics, surgeries?
I did have a surgery because they had to remove the infection. So when the doctor did the surgery, he didn't close it up. He wanted it to heal from the inside out. So
wait, hold on. You had a surgery without a wound being closed?
Correct.
So it was just flesh?
It was open.
Flesh?
Correct.
I could see your flesh. I could put my hand in the crack.
Yeah. The hole was big enough that you could probably it was big enough for you to stick your finger in it.
Somebody help me please,
No.
Leave your cracks alone. They still in cracks. Hide your cracks. Hide your cracks. You can put a hole in your hide your cracks. You can stick a fist in the wound.
Not a fist.
A finger.
Now, a finger.
Okay.
Because what ended up happening, because the doctor that I went to, he wanted it to close from the inside out. So that's why he didn't stitch it up. So I had to get it packed. So while I was in the hospital, the nurses came every day to pack my wound with gauze and whatever else that they needed for it to heal. So once I went home, I had to go to the wound care center every 2 days. And then once I got released from there, I had a nurse come to my house and she did it for me, where she would pack the wound.
This is all in your butt. So did you have to like stay on your stomach the whole time? Could you sit?
I mean, I just laid on my side. And I had a PICC line in my arm where I had to go to the hospital and get intravenous IV through my PICC line.
This is all from some butt shots?
Yes.
A PICC line?
What
A
the
PICC, a cotton line? A PICC, a cotton line in your arm from the butt? I don't want no. You know what? Thank you, mama, daddy, grandmama, for the buttocks that you blessed me with. Because if I ever thought to get a shot of BBL from hell, I have changed my mind. Thank you kindly, Lady J. All of this just because you want a little dunk in your trunk. Mm-hmm. And now we got to pick a cotton line in your arm. You getting packed out in the wound care center. Nurses.
Right.
What's the other thing? Necromancy? No, that's when you talk to the dead people. What the one you had? You said you had something.
Oh, necrosis.
Necrosis. All of these things just from wanting to feel good.
Wanting to feel good.
Okay. So we're in the emergency room. All of these things happen. We got a PICC line. Now what?
It took me probably 2 months to heal.
Bruh.
2 months?
Right. I think it was about 2 months. 2.5 months for it to close out.
So you were in the hospital for 2 months?
No, I was home.
You were home, but just the whole process?
Yeah, I was home bedbound.
This is still just on the butt?
Mm-hmm. Everything else had healed. Like the rest of my body was healed. It was just from this surgery when I came back to the States that I had to have.
2 months. How was the process? Were you dating? Because I
wasn't, and I'm glad I wasn't, because during this process, on the days that my nurse didn't come to get it packed, the smell from my wound was horrible.
What did the smell from the wound? It was leaking?
Yes.
What was it leak? Like pus and blood and
it
just
was just
infection?
Like fluid from the wound.
And it had the smell?
From it being packed.
Is it the medicine that was giving it the smell or the infection that was
giving it? The infection. From the infection.
And it was fluid, so it was just leaking down your body?
No, it wouldn't be leaking down my body because remember, the wound itself was packed with gauze.
Okay. But the gauze are being filled with fluid.
With the fluid. So, like, I would have the nurse come extra days just so she can clean it.
Because you couldn't take it.
I couldn't take the smell.
So is that true? Because I keep hearing that there's a BBL smell. You know, they keep saying women that got BBLs, they don't smell good. There is a BBL smell. I don't think that I've ever been around a woman that had a BBL. I'm not in that lifestyle anymore, obviously. And like you said, back in the day, they wasn't doing BBLs 20 years ago. They was doing shots, right?
Right.
So I don't know if that's a thing, but what I hear on the internet with the new girls, they have a BBL smell. Do you think that the smell is coming because some of them, when they go to get these surgeries, the wounds or the incisions are not closed properly?
Honestly, I can't say because I didn't have a normal BBL.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know. But I know over the years that I did still have the injections in me, I started to have a smell. And that was from, I probably had infection and didn't know. So it would be pushing out my pores or my skin. So that was another reason why I wanted to get it removed.
Because you knew that's what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be even though you didn't do a regular BBL, it could be some truth to it.
Could be.
It could be some truth.
They might have an infection or something if it has a smell.
Because that's what I keep hearing. I keep hearing, and I don't. And
because
I've people
heard of some people that had BBLs and they never said anything about a smell. So it could be they might have some type of infection or something in their skin.
My goodness. Okay. So 2 months, we're healed, we're better.
Mm-hmm.
But after all that infection and surgeries and packing out the wounds, obviously your body now probably looks different.
Yeah, because from the removal, when they did the removal, it just wasn't removal of the substance that they use, because depending on how far it is in your skin, if it hardens, they'll have to remove skin. Sometimes chunks of skin.
Is that what happened with you?
Yeah, I had some chunks removed. I mean, there's videos that you can go on YouTube online where some women have theirs, where they had injections, and a lot of them lost a lot of their butt.
Chunks of it
to where it looks like they have nothing because what a lot of women ignore after they get the injections, their skin starts rippling or it's black. Some of them.
I think I've seen certain things. Yeah,
It'll get real dark,
yeah.
or it'll look like they'll have dimples in their skin. So, and some of them they'll just hide it with tattoos.
Instead of getting it fixed.
Instead of getting it
removed. Because that's their money maker.
Correct.
So they just
leave it. They infected.
Fine and infected.
They probably have pains in their body and they're ignoring it.
Fine and infected. Fine and infected. Hey.
Oh, you're nasty. You're a little nasty. Nasty.
Little cinnamon buns. You're out there at Magic City. You're fine and infected. The men don't know what is smelling, if it's the fish in the kitchen or if it's you when you walk by. Because we don't know if your wounds is closed. Go see the doctor. Fine and infected. Jesus Christ. So, you are healed, but mentally, when you're looking at your body, even though thank God you healed internally, there's no more infection. You are alive and well because this could have went a different way. We hear horror stories. I think it was, and I don't want to butcher his name. I think he's a comedian, DC. He's a young comedian, and I believe his child's mother went to have a surgery right after giving birth, and unfortunately she didn't make it off the table. So we hear of those stories. She's not the only one. There's many, many stories about how cosmetic surgery can go really, really bad. Right. And I thank God that even though yours, it went bad, but you still alive to tell the story. So thank God that part, you're healed physically, medically, but mentally. How does that, when you stood in that mirror and you saw your body, how did you feel?
After the surgery?
Yeah, after the chunks were removed, after, you got gogs, now your skin is gone, all of that. How did you?
In my mind, I was just saying to myself, what did I do to myself? Because I was in another country. Of course, I talk to my daughter every day. I talk to my friends and family every day. But in my mind, I was thinking to myself, I'm over here by myself. If something happens, my family not going to be able to get to me. And, my dad was worried about me. He was ready to get on a flight, but he didn't have a passport yet. But, every day that I talked to them, oh, I'm fine. Because based on what they were telling me, I thought I was fine. Because the nurses were scared to tell me the truth.
And what was the truth? That it was worse than what?
That it was. It was worse than what it seemed to be. Because obviously, while I was still there, I had infection in me, and they just wasn't telling me that I had infections.
What were they saying?
That I was okay. That my wound was fine. It was healing, and everything was fine. They cleared me to come back home.
But thank God they did, because that's where you really got the treatment.
Because if I didn't come home, then 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't have made it. Because like I said, the night when my daughter took me to the hospital, my hemoglobin was a 6.
Dead on arrival.
Correct.
No blood. Lord have mercy. So is the lipo and the butt, was that the only surgery you ever had? Mm-hmm. Okay. So no breast augmentations, none of that. Mm-mm. Well, I say that because, I ain't never said, I don't want to get that. But it's my platform. I might as well. Pinky, should I tell the people? Okay, she said tell the people. So I never ever did a BBL. I never did, I never got butt shots or anything like that. But I did have, y'all don't be weird, okay? Because the Saints get real weird. I don't even know if I should tell them because the Saints get weird. Y'all get real. Y'all get weird. Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird. So I don't know if I should say this, but this is a platform where we get real, raw, and relevant. So I'm going to just say, and I've never said this publicly, I had a breast augmentation. I went and bought me some boobs. I sure did, judge your auntie and your pediatrician. I went and bought me some boobs. Not because I wanted to they were not my moneymaker. I was out the game long before I decided to get breast augmentation. So I had stripped. Listen, I stripped with the old boobs. I did porn with the old, but you just gonna get these old boobs, okay? I wasn't doing nothing. I didn't do no lipo. You gonna get all this baby fat. I was 18. Baby fat. I wasn't developed. Hey, it is what it is. But the reason why I had decided to get breast augmentation is because I had a child really, really young. I got pregnant at 13 years old. And I ended up going into an early labor. I had the baby. The baby passed. But even though I left the hospital without my baby, I still left with all of the side effects of what childbirth gives you. Mm-hmm. And so, I still had the milk that came into my little boobs at 13 years old. I remember them having to pump me of the milk, and I didn't have a baby to feed, but I had the milk in my breast and all of that. And I got on drugs early. At 15 years old, I started drinking real bad early. And I think when I was high and drunk all the time, I suppressed a lot of stuff. But once I finally got clean from drugs and alcohol, I was able to start really looking at myself and really going back on certain things that I went through. And every time I stood in the mirror, my boobs were a reminder that I was a mother without a child, because I had the stretch marks and I had the effects. Like you get the little sag and all that after you didn't milked your cow. You know what I'm saying? They didn't milk me, ladies. They milked me. They milked me, little baby cow. You know what I'm saying? You dig? So I was out there just milked. My boobs was just milked. And every time I stood in the mirror, because this was before Redeemed, before my miracle baby, I did not have a child, but I had the effects of motherhood without the baby. Right. And it bothered me psychologically. Like, I'd be standing there and I'm like, you could tell that something happened around here. Mm-hmm. So I talked to my husband at the time and I was like, I want to get my boobs done. It's messing with my head. And he like, what? Because some people don't understand. They like, what are you talking about? What you mean? They fine with me. You know what I'm saying? He had no problem with them. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody never had no problem with it. So he had no problem. But for me, mentally, I was like, these are a reminder of something that was very tragic for me. So I went and got my little 1-2s. Why do that? Because I went and had a baby and I might go and fix them again, and that's my business. And I ain't got no problem with that. Me bringing you on the show, let me say this, to talk about the dangers of cosmetic surgery is a cautionary. It's not to deter you completely, because I feel like you do whatever you need to do. If you feel like, now some of y'all go above and beyond. Some of y'all get real ridiculous, right? But there are some of us some people have weight loss surgery. Some people have mental issues like I did. I was like, going through a depression because I had the effects of motherhood without a child. And so everybody does what they do, that whatever works for you works for you. However, you need to be educated on the fact that you might not get off the table. You might get off the table, but you might be infected. You might get off the table and still not be, pleased with your results. You might get off the table and things may go wrong. And a lot of people do not talk about it. Everybody's like, oh, look at my butt. Oh, look at my boobs. Oh, look at my teeth. That's a whole nother thing. I heard y'all got veneer breath. I don't know what that is, but that's a thing. I don't know. Y'all just doing stuff. You're doing stuff and it's infecting you up. You're getting funky and infected. You think you got $1 million smile and we smell you before you come around the corner. I don't know. I don't got veneers. I don't got butt jobs and all that. But I did get a breast augmentation. I never got an infection, thank God. I was pleased with my results. However, some of y'all need to understand that this thing can really go another way. Right. And it went another way with you, but thank God you are here. What would you tell a person? Because like I just said, I'm not 100% against it. Mm-hmm. When you got a valid reason, like even with me, I lost 70 pounds, right? There's some stubborn fat that doesn't go anywhere. So some people might feel like I got saggy skin. When you lose a lot of weight, like when you big, when you big back senior, see, I was big back junior, but some of y'all are big back senior. So if you like 300-400 pounds and you lose 150-200 pounds, you're going to have saggy skin.
And going to need the skin removed.
You're going to need surgery. You're going to need a skin removal, or you just going to be walking around here looking crazy, okay? You're going to be scared. We going to be scared. We take your clothes off, you small, but then you got all this excess skin. So some people need the surgery, right? Some people need to make certain moves, and that's okay. Some people are super, super big, and they just can't lose weight in the gym from eating right. Some of them need to lay on the table and have a gastric bypass or a lap band or whatever. So I'm not 100% against surgery. What I'm against is when y'all start having surgery too soon. Some of y'all are babies. Y'all 18, 19, 20. You ain't even got your grown woman weight yet. You ain't even came into your fullness of who you really are, and you already putting Botox in your cheeks. You already, getting shots and getting lipo and getting BBLs, and you still a baby. Your grown woman weight ain't even. All you gotta do is eat a couple of lamb chops and you know what I'm saying? Eat a couple of smothered chicken wings and something. You gonna get some butt. Let me come to my house for a month. We gonna go to Lady J house for a month. You gonna spread like wildfire. Some of y'all ain't giving your bodies time to come and toot. Okay, so I have a problem when you overdo it. Some of y'all look crazy. We don't know. You look like Jigsaw. You look like you look like Candyman. You look like Michael Myers. Some of the stuff y'all do is absolutely ridiculous. I have a problem when you're going too far because it becomes addicted.
It becomes addictive.
Did you become addicted to it?
No.
You did it. You said, I'm one and done. You ain't got to infect me but one time. You ain't got to infect me but one time. I ain't going back.
Right. I'm not against it. I would say to anyone that is thinking about doing surgery, do your research. Do your research on the doctor. Do your research on the procedure. Just do your research. Just don't jump to the first doctor that you see.
That's good. Or the cheapest one.
Or the cheapest one, because we know in the States it costs a little bit more. A lot of people go across the water because those doctors is going to do exactly what you tell them to do.
And don't care about
if
your
you
health.
want 4 things done at one time, they're going to do it. If you they're going to take out more fat over there than what they would do in the United States.
And that can be a risk.
It can be a risk. So I would say do your research. And if you're somebody that did get shots and you hesitant about taking them out because you're afraid of what your body is going to look like afterwards, I would say, me personally, remove them, because it's better to do it sooner than later, because later is going to have an effect on your health.
Do you regret it? It would, the whole process. Would you do you regret it, or do you feel like, you know what, I learned from it, I can help another young woman who is tripping and keep doing this stuff? Do you regret it? Because there's some stuff that I've done. Some stuff I regret, and some stuff I'm like, hey, if I didn't do it, it wouldn't have made me who I am today.
Honestly, no, I don't.
You don't regret it?
I don't regret it.
Why?
I mean, it was just something I learned from. And after a while, where I'm at today, back then I didn't love myself. I didn't see myself as other people saw what other people would see. Because I would always, oh, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful. I didn't see that person.
Wow. Do you see her now?
Yes, I do.
Because I see her. You're cute, girl. You're cute. I know what you're talking about. You're beautiful inside and out. So I'm glad you see it. And I'm glad you said that, because there's a lot of people, you'll see them and you be like, you're so pretty or you're so handsome, and they don't see that. You look good.
They don't, because it's something within them. It could have been something that happened during their childhood, teenage life, or even as an adult, that just blocks them from seeing that, from what other people see.
That's understandable. I definitely understand, but I'm glad. I'll ask you this. What did it take for you to change that mindset to where you went from, I didn't feel beautiful, I didn't feel whatever, I didn't feel what people saw, I didn't see what other people saw, to where you are now? What was that transition?
Honestly, once I got closer with God.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You'll change your life. People about Jesus, you'll change your life.
Right.
So once you got closer with God, you started to see him.
Right.
I love that. And I want to piggyback off that for a lot of you who feel like, I don't feel beautiful, or somebody polluted your spirit at a young age, telling you that you were not beautiful, you were not handsome, you were too fat, you were too dark, you were too light, your teeth was too big, your whatever, your head too big, you're not this, you don't fit the society's norm of what we call beautiful. I want to tell you that the Bible says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that you have been created in the image of God. I feel like there are some people who may not always be aesthetically pleasing, like Flavor Flav, but he is somebody that is worthy of love, and to be told that, you know what I'm saying, he got a face that only a mother can love, or a woman that needs some money. You know, there are some people who are not aesthetically pleasing. However, that does not negate the fact that they are fearfully and wonderfully made. And just because you think that they are ugly, baby, somebody think that they are fine as wine. Why? Because beauty is made, and I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What I think is beautiful, what I think is fine, what I think is attractive might not be attractive to you, but that doesn't mean that it's ugly or that it's not worthy of love, respect, and dignity. I ain't never heard the thing with the dark skin, light skin thing. That ain't never been my portion, honey. I ain't never had no issue with me being of a darker complexion. But there are some women who feel like they're dark skinned, so they're not as pretty as a light skinned woman. Or what? Let me tell you, I don't care if you black as tar. Come here, little blackberry. You are beautiful, Blackie. And Reverend Tupac said, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Okay? I don't care if you is black as midnight. You are beautiful and you are worthy. I don't care if your teeth is bigger than Bugs Bunny. You are beautiful and you are. I don't care if you so big you can't fit through the front door. We got to cut a hole in the wall. You are beautiful, and don't can't nobody tell you nothing different. I want to speak to your spirit. I want to speak to your soul and your heart. I don't care if they called you ugly. Somebody somewhere gonna find you attractive. You ever see My 600-Pound Life? Everybody on that show got a man or a woman, and they big and wide as all outside. There is somebody for everybody. Somebody can find the beauty in you. Let me tell you something. The older I get, because, you know, sometimes when we are younger, we become a little bit more superficial. A man got to look like this. He got to look like that. He got to walk like this. His swag got to be right. He got to have this amount of money. But the older I get, I'm learning that they may not be aesthetically what you are used to, but you'll learn as you get older that it's not what somebody looks like. It's their heart. It's their personality. It's how they can love you and how they can befriend you and how they can support you. Because I had a whole lot of fine fools. I had a whole lot of buff butt heads. I had a whole lot of fine demons, okay? So the older you get, you'll stop looking at a person, only the person's outside, and you'll start to look at their inside. You'll start to look at their heart. You'll look at their mindset. You'll look at their spirit. Do they love God? Can they love you? Can they love your children? Can they love your flaws? Can they love you when you have a bad day? There's somebody for everybody, and there is beauty on the inside of everybody, even if you don't feel like you are aesthetically pleasing to whoever standard. Long as you are beautiful to yourself, that's all that matters. And so again, I am not against cosmetic surgery. I'm not against you doing a little nip tuck, a little 1-2-1-2, because me, her, she, Apostle went and bought me a rack. Okay? Because I wanted to. Judge a pediatrician. So I'm not against it at all. But what I'm against is if you're doing it because you don't love yourself or you feel like God made a mistake. He did not make a mistake when he made you. Even if you fix your nose because you feel like it's too big. Even if you go and fix your teeth because you don't like your teeth. Even if you go get a hairline, like I'm thinking about going to Colombia to go get my hairline fixed because my forehead is just too big. God just was giving out foreheads when he made me. I didn't need all this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need all that. My daddy had a receded hairline and he poisoned me. So if I want to go get my hairline fixed, that's my business. That's my prerogative. However, whether you got a big head, big teeth, big belly, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and love yourself. If you got a flat butt, homegirl, there's some man that would love to rub on your flat back jack. Okay? Lady J, I'm so proud of you because you don't even talk. And so for you to come on and talk, I normally got gifts. I don't know where to, I found one. I found it. I normally have gifts for our guests, and when I say I am so proud of, let me say this, because this is for a whole nother show, because might have to bring you back, because your testimony, when you first came to the Nunu and you told me your testimony and where you came from, this is just one part of her story. So if you see her again, it's because there's other parts to her that we're going to dive into. But this time we wanted to talk about the surgeries and the infections and the scares of cosmetic surgery. However, there is a lot more to her. And when I heard her testimony and when I heard, her story when she first came, and seeing how far you have come from when you first came to the Nunu to now, you are sitting here and you're like, I'm telling my story and this is what happened, and now I've changed because I've gotten closer to God. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm just toot my own horn for having a little, part of that, because I have seen your growth. When she first came to my church, she threw up all over us, and I think you owe me a pair of shoes, because Leah and Veronica had to clean up the throw up. But she came and she made up for it, because she done made me pies and cakes along the years, okay? But she came and she went through her healing and her deliverance. And when I tell you publicly, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And you ain't seen nothing yet. There is so much more that God is getting ready to do in your life. And I love you. And I'm proud of you. And this is so big, because when I tell y'all, she don't even talk. She does not talk. So this was a lot for her. But shout out to you. I want to give you your gift. We love you. And that concludes episode 10. We win. Again, if you have not subscribed, I need you to subscribe. If you ain't told nobody about the Free Me Friday podcast, I need you to tell them. I need you to subscribe, because we need coins. We need all the money. I need sponsors. I need partners. I need all of it, so we can really take this thing to the next level. Thank you so much for y'all who have been riding with me for these 10 episodes. But if you really know, then you know that I've been doing this way before we came over to the YouTuberations, and some of y'all have been with me since the very beginning when I was sitting on that other platform, me and Pinky, and y'all been riding with me ever since. I am so grateful, because you don't have to sit there and listen to me. You don't have to watch me. You don't have to support me. So thank you for sitting through another episode of Free Me Friday, where we get real, raw, ratchet, and a whole lot of religions. We love the Lord over here. Just we that other church. See you later. For all you brands and companies that want to partner with the Free Me Friday podcast, I want you to go ahead and email us at the email that's on the screen right now. If you got wigs, if you got shoes, if you got bullhorns, and whatever you got going on, and you want your company or your brand to be featured on the Free Me Friday podcast, hit us up. Me and Pinky are ready to work with you. Let's talk. Email us now. I can be your brand ambassador. Why not? Me, Jesus, and Pinky. Hit us up right now. Thank you, kindly.